What's up, gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. In this video, we are going to get into the topic if white guys truly get the best, highest quality women when it comes to dating overseas. But before we get into it, make sure to smash that like button. It costs you nothing, means the world to me. It really helps me out with the algorithm, and I would really appreciate it. Now let's get into the topic of this video. Now, I've been to over 50 different countries, and I've dated in many of these countries, and I've dated in many different parts of the world. And here is what I'll say. I have an entire video on my channel about this. Wherever I go, for the most part, foreigners, no matter their height, weight, skin color, aren't getting the best women abroad, period. And there are a number of reasons that I outlined in the previous video for why that is. I think it's something about why foreigners get the leftover women abroad. Now, obviously, there are exceptions to this. I didn't say every foreigner, I said most foreigners. So let me be very clear about that. The average guy who is traveling is not doing super great. And that's for all races, all heights. If you're bald, I don't care. And the opposite could be said as well. I've seen people, all skin colors, all races, all heights, all shapes, sizes, whatever you want to say, do extremely well also. And let me preface this by saying that this is when it comes to non-paid activities, which brings me up to a whole nother topic that I should touch on real quick. I have a whole video about why dating has become more difficult overseas. Yes, white guys used to be able to go to Thailand looking like Butterball or whatever the hell his name is and absolutely slay. But those days are quickly coming to an end as the competition, both local and from foreign men, gets higher and higher. In fact, someone made a video responding to this saying that dating hasn't gotten more difficult, it's just changed. And I haven't made a response video to this yet, but one of the things he points out is, well, yeah, there's more competition in those tier 1 cities, so you need to go to tier 2 or tier 3 cities. Well, guess what? That means it has gotten more difficult if you have to go to a different place because of the competition or because more people are going there. That is literally the definition of a place getting more difficult. And the second thing he said is that it's changed in the fact that the high quality women are in P for P. And I don't consider that dating. So once again, that makes it more difficult because if you have a lot of the high quality women switching what kind of dating they're doing, then that makes traditional dating more difficult if you're trying to get those high quality women without paying or partaking in professional services. And this applies no matter what your skin color is. Dating has definitely gotten more difficult overseas. Now, with that said, what I have noticed in my own personal travels is that the average white guy is doing better than the average black guy or even Asian guy. And probably Indians, Muslims, and whatever else is out there. They are probably, on average, doing the best. But with that said, I've had white guys in Asia, in Mexico, in Spain, in Portugal, in Poland, and other parts of Eastern Europe ask me how I was doing what I was doing because they weren't getting as much success. In fact, when I was in Poland and other parts of Eastern Europe, I was objectively doing better than my Russian and Polish friends that I have mentioned on this channel ad nauseum. And they spoke the language. So I say this to say, it's not solely about your skin tone or your height or any of that stuff. There are other things that come into play. And that's not to say that your looks or the color of your skin don't matter at all. I have another video that I made earlier today that talks exactly about that same thing. Yes, they are going to play a small factor. Depending on where you are in the world, maybe I'll link that video somewhere around here. But are you learning the language? Are you a weekend warrior? Are you staying long term? Are you embracing cultural differences? How are you approaching women? How are you meeting women? Do you dress like a child? Do you behave like a child? All these things are going to greatly affect your experience. And I should also mention, I have friends who are currently in certain parts of the world, Western Europe, Eastern Europe, Central Europe, who have pointed out that yes, the whole African immigration stuff has affected their experience, especially when it comes to cold approach. And they complain about how this group of people, even though it's not a majority of them, come to wherever they are, cause problems, cause trouble, commit crimes, and then that reflects negatively on them. And like I said, I was talking to some of my buddies and they were saying, yes, it has definitely changed the cold approach. However, what they have done is they have made it abundantly clear that they are not part of that group of people, specifically the people who tend to commit crimes. They tend not to dress well. They tend not to have the best grooming. They tend not to be in certain areas or certain clubs. Because as I mentioned in my other video, I don't know if this one's going up first or that other video is, by going to places that have a barrier to entry, so nice clubs for instance, you're immediately going to give yourself some level of status. And you're going to differentiate yourself from the people who cannot afford to be there, but also from the people who may be committing crimes, and you're able to separate yourself from them. Now, of all the high-level black men, mixed-colored folk like myself, white guys, Asian guys, I personally have not noticed a difference on the quality of women that we are able to obtain. In fact, I would probably, if there was, to my head, I'd probably favor the black and mixed guys women over the white guys women. Because here is something that I have noticed. The high-level black guys and mixed guys are doing really, really well. And then it's like social class. There's no real middle class. It's either they're doing really well or they're like down here doing bottom of the barrel kind of things unless they're doing P for P. And that is the honest truth. Whereas white guys, what I have noticed is they're doing really well, but they also have a standard that they aren't going to really go below then. And so my personal opinion and my personal experience is black guys, mixed guys, maybe even Asian guys as well, probably have a higher ceiling, but a lower floor if we're using NBA draft kind of comparisons. Whereas the typical white guy, the average white guy, probably the same ceiling obviously, but a higher floor. And so many of you have probably noticed on my channel, I teach you guys how to become the high level guy, no matter what race you are, because it's going to benefit you on multiple different levels. And so if you're a high level guy, your skin color does not matter. You're going to be able to attract and keep the highest level of woman. So that's going to wrap up this video. Thank you for watching. I truly appreciate it. Let me know in the comments down below if you agree or disagree and why. Let me know your experience if you have any experience that is related to this video. And I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to smash that like button on your way out. And I will talk to you guys soon. As always, peace. Much love.